With guided drills and real-time feedback, the Mantis Laser Academy allows you to have a training facility at home and at your convenience. Get quality reps with your own equipment and experience a higher level of dry fire training with positive results that you can see and feel. Laser Academy's variety of drill options also keeps things fresh for shooters, making practice feel more like a game and less like a chore. I use it all the time and recommend it highly.
Hey everyone, Brian Hill with the Complete Combatant. Forgive me, it's a little windy outside today, but it's a beautiful day in Georgia. Mother Nature's a little drunk. She sent us into freezing weather, which we don't custom get at the end of April. So we'll make do with the wind noise. Hopefully it doesn't affect you guys. I want to talk to you about the three modes of training and how important they are. Most people don't represent the three modes or don't practice the three modes in their training, and then they're always going to have a big hole in their shooting abilities. Let's fix that. This is going to be the first part of a three-part series on how to fix that. And what we're going to talk today about is efficiency mode. Now, listen, these coaching modes are as old as humanly possible. Every coach I've had has some version of this. Steve Anderson's made this pretty famous in the shooting community with his speed mode, accuracy mode, and match mode. I'm going to use different terms because I tend to be more of a tactical shooter. And then also I come from a self-defense background. There's nothing wrong with any of those terms, but we've got to get it right so it works for us, okay? Kwanzaa Kim came up with an idea that's called ACED, A-C-E-D. These are four components that you need to have in shooting. We need to be accurate, we need to be consistent, we need to be efficient, and we need to be disciplined. Accuracy is pretty easy. We understand that's hitting the target. Consistency is being able to do it on demand, on performance. Really important. Some people don't have that. Efficiency is the ability to do it with the least amount of inputs and the shortest amount of time. And then discipline is your path of training, that you train on a disciplined manner to learn what's necessary to do these things. Let's talk about efficiency or speed mode. I like to say efficiency mode because when we start talking about speed, people have a very different reaction to that. Efficiency makes sense to us. I'm going to read you the definition of efficiency. Bear with me as I look down. Efficiency signifies a peak level of performance that uses the least amount of inputs to achieve the highest amount of outputs. This was said in judo, maximum efficiency with minimum effort. That's what we want. It sounds a lot different than maybe how you're trying to train to go faster. We try to get really tense to go faster, and that's the antithesis of being fast. Tension is the enemy of speed. So what we're going to do is work on some time signatures here and learn how to drill our speed and how to get better with it each time. Some things you're going to need. Of course, you're going to need a pistol for dry practice. You're going to need a timer of some sort. Your MantisX holster analysis will work just fine. And we're going to practice this at three different speeds so that we gain the ability to do this correctly. Let me put this down for a second. All right. So our first mode is just an easy mode for us to do. This is something that I might draw at this speed to a really difficult target or one at a big distance. This is going to be a 2.5 second par for me. It may be different for you, but this is a pretty good par. There's national standards for this. Scott Jelinski introduced me to this idea of modalities and having three different standards. It's helped me a lot as an instructor. I think it'll help you a lot as a shooter. So I've said I was 2.5 seconds par time, and what I'm going to do is practice my draws. Now, I don't like to say a number of repetitions in draws because I know as a strength and conditioning coach, a lot of times people don't do the first one well and the second one's not very good and the last one's not good and they lose one in the middle. What I'd like you to do is practice either with a timer, which is a good way to do it, or even more importantly, until your concentration fades. Our concentration comes and goes and has a different fluctuation on each day, so you may find some days you can pay attention better. So first part of this drill is, of course, want to make sure the gun's safe, empty, you guys can see, pointed towards the berm here, okay? Now, careful back to the holster, good. Working my way through this drill, so what I'm going to do is hit the timer on a delay, and then I'm just going to practice my draw to 1.5. So I was really done quick that time. Maybe that's nerves on the camera. Maybe I went a little faster than I should. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to draw as quickly as I can because that's administrative, but I'm going to slow down the modulation at the end. If you haven't watched my video on hand modulation, be a good time to do that. What's your trigger speed, what's your sight speed, and what's your hand speed to a stop. All right, let's look at it again. So that was just about right. Just touching the trigger as the sight settled on the target. So that's my 1.5. I'm going to do one more for you guys. A little fast on that, but I did have to correct a little bit at the end, so maybe my hand speed's a little much. So I'm going to move along. Now I'm going to go to 125. What this is going to do is, this is a pretty sound speed for me. A medium-sized target or an easier target at middle distance is something I'm going to engage with this hand speed. This is where I'm going to feel pretty comfortable as my personality works. It may be different for you, but this will be a nice easy speed for me. A 125 on the draw, and I should be slowing down at about 10% of the draw stroke this time. Let's see what that looks like. Do it again, same thing. So you guys can see I'm very comfortable at that pace. I can shoot just about anything at that pace. That's a good draw stroke for me. It's very much within my comfort range. It feels pretty good. So now I'm going to drop it down a little bit more. We'll take a quarter second off of it this time. So we're going to a 1, okay? Now to 1, it's quick, but there's plenty of time for me to visually confirm what I'm seeing. So this is a really good performance level standard for me if I'm trying to shoot a close range target that's fairly large, like the center of this target. So you work a 1 right here. My hand speed's a 95.5 as I come down, maybe a 90.10 because I'm a little bit faster than this. Let's see what that looks like. You guys could see I was a little done before it, so I rushed and hurried on that one, so I'm going to relax. That's about right. Let's do one more at that speed. Okay. So I'm starting to groove in. As I do more of these, I'm going to become more efficient because the body won't tolerate inefficiency over long periods of time. The more you practice this, the more efficient you're going to get. So that's well within my comfort zone. So now, since I'm in efficiency mode and I want to get faster, I have to sprint. Can't jog. That's jogging for me. That's not very difficult. So let's see what a sprint looks like now. So we'll put it down to a 75. So I've gone 1.5, 125, 1, and a 75. So I have to get everything right on this. I expect a lot more problems to creep in because I'm pushing the extreme limits, and that's good because I want to learn how to counter those and overcome them and eliminate them if possible, and get some sort of stoppage before it happens. All right, preemption is a word that Scott Jelinski uses. I want to stop it before it happens if I can. So I'm going to work on being really efficient. Remember, this is the minimum amount of effort with a maximum efficiency. So minimum amount of inputs, getting the least amount of time to do this it's very interesting on this drill. Let's see what this looks like. So you can see my body's getting a little more tense. I'm really working on it. I almost had to jump because I wanted to go sooner. All right, what I'm going to do is exhale and settle down a little bit and see if I can find the efficiency of that speed. So that was pretty good. I'm a little late. I'm still not quite there. Let's see if we can get a little sooner. This is going to be reaction to the beep almost primarily. It's not the draw stroke. It's how quickly I can react to the stimulus. So that was pretty good. Actually, it kind of caught me by surprise, which is always better because then I wasn't anticipating and I just moved as soon as I heard it. So now what I've done is drop my draw times down, 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 and I practice each one maybe for a minute or until I can't concentrate anymore. And I'm feeling pretty good, but I have to check this out in live fire. All right, so I want to practice this and get some feedback. My Mantis is giving me a good analysis, or my part-timer is. Now I want to check it and see what I'm really doing in the real world. So eyes and ears for me, okay? Loaded mag. Okay, gun's loaded. All right, so I'm gonna go through the same set of drills that I could be using on different size targets, or I can just practice the hand speed. It's entirely up to you. We started at a 1.5, so we're gonna go back to that. Isn't it fun to watch a guy manipulate a timer? Okay, so need a little more beep since I got ears on. Perfect. So let's see what a 1.5 draw looks like. And it's ridiculous how hard this is once you get good at drawing quickly, because now I have to modulate the speed at the end. So let's see what that looks like. Stand by. First shot of the day. Okay. So a little soon still a little bit soon. That's a 1.36. A 1.36. You know, I tried to modulate it down. I got a good hit. I saw plenty of sights. So I'm going to see if I can not slow it down, but be a little more careful with the whole process. About a 20% stop with my hands at the end. Let's try it once more. All right, so that's about right. That's a 1.46. Okay. Little 10th. 10th felt like a long time though to me. Still the hits are good, everything's fine. Remember, since I'm in efficiency mode, I have to relax the accuracy standard. Don't try to be accurate and fast at the same time. We're gonna put this all together in performance mode. Right now, the bottle, the milkshake bottle, is my target because I'm going to be working on speed. As long as it's in that, I'm releasing my standard of accuracy enough. This has nothing to do with self-defense. Remember, I know we don't want to miss as self-defenders, but we also have to practice going fast. It's like jogging. Jogging does not make you a good sprinter. In order to be a good sprinter, you have to sprint, as much as nobody likes to sprint. All right, so a 1.25. Let's see what that looks like hand speed wise. All right, stand by. So it's a 109, a little quick. Let's see if we can get a 1.25 going. One more chance. Let's see. So that was perfect. That was a 1.24. A 1.24. The interesting thing was it was probably a little less accurate than the other shot. I felt like I was hanging around there. I'd done everything, I've gotten it done. So that's a 1.24. I've modulated that. Everything's fine. Let's go to the next speed. So that was a 1 for us. All right, so we're going to do a 1 second draw now. Remember to breathe. Get rid of your tension. Don't try to go fast. Just do everything. As soon as you hear the beep, you want to move. All right, let's see if we can get this. 1 second draw. Stand by. Too fast. That was the 90. Let's see if we can get it at 1 second. One more time. Stand by. I think that's closer. That's a 97. So definitely closer. Okay? For you doubters out there, there's a 97. Now I'm going to go into full efficiency mode, full speed mode. So what that means for me is I'm going to shoot urgently. Okay? And I'm going to do this in a 75. Now that is really low for me. I don't get 75s. I can live at 90s all day. Sometimes I get 80s. So to get a 75, I'm going to have to try to do something sooner. All right. I'm really going to work on my reaction to the beep. See if I can get a 75 out of it. Remember, the accuracy is inside the milk bottle. Anywhere inside the milk bottle. All right. Stand by. Well, I may have gone before the beep. Not really sure. You guys check it out. It's a 73. You're going to jump it occasionally because you're trying to go as fast as you can. You have to learn what too soon is, not just too late. So I think I would jumped it just a little bit with a 73. You know, the camera, you guys watching, puts pressure on me too. So this is a really good drill. Let's try it one more and see if we can get it at 75 without cheating. Okay, so that's pretty close. That's an 82. An 82, but I probably shot just before I got everything lined up with the gun there. I'm a little high in the milk bottle, still in the milk bottle. My accuracy didn't fade too much, but you can see I was pushing, I was trying. So let's try something completely different. Instead of trying harder, what I'm simply gonna do is relax and try to move as soon as I hear it. I'm gonna feel the pressure in my ear from the beeper. Okay, let's see what that looks like. Okay, that was good. It felt neither fast or slow. It's 78. It's inside the circle. It's inside the milk bottle. So everything's pretty good right there. So I've gotten a good practice here. I've modulated at the 3 different speeds. They've become mine now, more or less, so that I can modulate on different size targets. You know, in the self-defense community, we worry about missing as well. We should, because those bullets all go someplace. Remember, what's going to tell you how fast you can shoot is the size of the target. Size of the target is affected by its distance, its actual size, whether something's in the way, and movement also affects these things. So we're going to have to shoot in the time allotted. That's what we get, is the time allotted. That 75 is not something I'm probably taking to a fight or a match. It's at the extreme limits of my abilities right now. And if I put a little performance anxiety or pressure on it, or a little visual verification of the sights a little bit more, then it goes up a little bit. But it's teaching me to do what? Things sooner, to process more sooner. And that's what we got to get good at. Now, never leave the range in speed mode. Okay, so I've been in speed mode. I'm just shooting right now. I don't want to leave that way. So before I leave, I'm going to shoot a couple of rounds, make sure I hit everything on the target. I'll hit some different size circles. I'll practice a couple of draws, and I'll get myself back to performance mode. So from a 78, I'll probably see it go to the mid 90s at that point. I usually see a 0.2 difference, a 0.15 difference when I go back into performance mode, which is well it should be. And then if I'm standing on the line and there's a lot of pressure, it's a 1, a 1, 1. And if I make a mistake, it's another quarter of a second. So no matter what, my draw is under 1.5. This is efficiency mode. It's really important for your training. Best thing that I can tell you about having this sort of training is those of you that need it aren't going to like it. This guy. I'm an accuracy first shooter. I love accuracy. I love shooting long distance, but this is the style of training that I need because I need to become more efficient. The funny thing is it doesn't really hurt my accuracy. Speed and accuracy live together. Good fundamentals always lead to the proper execution. And in the next video, we'll be talking about accuracy and precision together. Let's take a look at the target so you believe me. All right, there it is. My great camera work. Thanks for bearing with me. I hope that helps you guys. Get in efficiency mode, get in speed mode, get some training with that, lower those par times down, try to do something sooner. You're gonna find a big difference in your training. If you are slow by nature, you've got to get out of your comfort zone. All right, you've got to do something new. You've got to do something sooner. You got to do something urgently. You've got to change the way that you've been training because you will not simply get fast without going fast. All right, this is Active Self-Protection Extra, Mantis Dry Fire Monday. Use that holster draw analysis for this. It is fantastic. It's by far the best tool to develop these things. You'll see the breakdown on the graph of your time to the gun, the pull, your vertical, your horizontal, your vertical, and then time on target to the trigger press. Boy, what a great bunch of information. Then verify it in live fire, make sure it's really working for you. Sometimes there's a little lag between that. All right, guys, as always, measure, refine, and perform. I'm Brian Hill with the Complete Combatant. Thank you so much.